Kwe, Meraolotio. Hagisco Gruno Molot Awe, Darwa Skudasiga, Hagisco Chuchit, Netukulimk, Ha Moderate Livelihood Fishing. So the purpose of this video is to address the arguments happening between moderate livelihood fishing and conservation. The question that I was asked to answer is, will moderate livelihood fishing out of seasons negatively impact conservation? I thought about this for a long time, and I think the best way to answer this question is to share a story with you and a teaching. So when I was 9, I went fishing with my dad and younger brother to Dino's Pond. Dino's Pond is a small lake next to the Little Narrows Ferry. And I remember Dad parking the car on the highway and the smell of spring. Everything was muddy and there were snow patches everywhere. We walked down the hillside after we parked our car towards the lake, and I remember hearing a river. When I got to the bottom, we got set up and I left my rod to wander. I found the river, of course, and I was excited to see that in the river there was clouds of smelt swimming up the river. With my excitement, I jumped in and spent the next hour just grabbing smelts, and I must have caught about 10 dozen smelts, and I put them all in Sobeys bags that I had for trout. And I ran to my dad, and I remember running to my dad telling him, "Mika dad, there's a dig." And he didn't seem as happy as I thought he would be. Um, instead, instead, he took me to my grandmother's in Wegoma and told me to go show grandma. And I ran in and I showed grandma, and she told me to pour them in the sink. I did that. Then she said, "Here's how you clean them." She showed me. I cleaned all 10 dozen, 120 smelts, which is about an hour's work. Then she showed me how to cook them. Little flour, salt and pepper, a little bit of oil in the pan, and you cook both sides for about 3 minutes. And you could only fit about 8 in the pan, so we cooked all 120 smelts. It took us almost a couple hours to do. Then she sat me down to eat. She ate about 5. Granddad ate about 5. Dad ate about 5, and I can only eat about 3. I was only 9 at the time. Then she told me, "You caught them all. You're supposed to eat them all." After a bit of crying and not being able to eat 102 more smelts, she told me to pack them up and take them to our neighbors, or to her neighbors, and her neighbor was Alan Bernard on the one side and Judina Bernard on the other side. So I took the smelts to them. I also took some smelts home to my mom and grandparents in Escazone, but I never forgot that lesson that she taught me. So now when I see smelts or fish for smelts, I only take what I need or what my family have asked me for. And this teaching is woven through the generations, and the teaching is the basis of Netukulimk. Mi'kmaq live by these beliefs. We know that each of us have a role in Netukulimk, and Netukulimk is more than just taking what you need, not what you can, and it is more than just conservation. It is about sustaining yourself through the means of our environment and leaving more than enough for 7 generations that follow. However, at the core of Netukulimk are four key aspects, and those are respect, responsibility, relationship, and reciprocity. We have a role to fulfill in Netukulimk to respect each other and the environment that is around us. The things you harvest are to be treated with the same respect. The living thing you harvest gave up its life to sustain yours. Treat it with the same respect. Then we have responsibility to pass on our teachings, like I am taking the responsibility now, to pass on our knowledge and a responsibility to take care of each other with our future children in mind. Every decision should be made with that in mind, that our children will be the ones to continue our ways after we have left this world. So we also have the relationship, which is the other core aspect of Netukulimk, and relationship with Sitkamu. Sitkamu is Mother Earth. That we are all interconnected, and that what we do to each other and the environment reflects our relationship. We grow together and we hinder each other. If we treat each other poorly, our environment and the environment poorly, Sitkamu will reflect that. So we have to treat each other better. Finally, we have a role in reciprocity. We give to the environment, we take from the environment, and we restore the environment. Reciprocity is best thought of in a circle, and you are part of that circle. And it is on you to govern yourself while harvesting from the environment, only taking what you need to sustain yourself. So knowing all of this and the teachings that were passed down from generations and generations, we should be confident that future generations will have more than enough resources to harvest. Whether those resources are in fishing, forestry, mining, or other means of harvesting, With Netukulimk, we will leave more than enough for seven generations to come. So I always leave you with this. Continue being the solution, share the teachings, and be the support someone needs. Wala liyo, ano mo tosik.